Hello and welcome to February 2025 Coffee and Card. I'm Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk, and this month we are using the Classic Weddings bundle, or Wedding bundle. This is an online exclusive, so it's not in the catalogue. You do need to go onto the online store to buy it, but it comes with all these stamps, and then we've got some dies as well, which I'll show you in a second. So I wanted to show you don't have to just use it for weddings. So today I'm making a celebrate you passing your driving test. I did think Stampin' Up might have missed a trick by not having an L plate in here, but apparently they're only in the UK. So they don't have such things, or they have different things in different countries. So I've had to make my own L plates, which I've done using Playful Alphabet. Playful Alphabet, which actually is a retired set, so I've included your L's in there for you. They're just the right size, although I could do with them a longer stroke, because in the UK the L plates, the L's are squarer rather than rectangle, but I digress. Right, so the dies we're going to use today are the car, obviously, and then we've got some bunting. There's also some little triangles, so you can cut your red triangles as well as your white ones. These little ones I've used for indicators, and then these two are the bumper bars. This one is your bumper, your boot handle. See the actions there. And this is your bumper, and there's your little frame for the back window as well. So the more I played with this set, the more I found it does stuff. Like for instance, when I made this car, I coloured those in and then discovered there's a stamp for the tyres as well. It's just like, wow. I've had a great time making all of these, and there are two wedding cards, but there are two that aren't wedding cards, just to show that it's a lot more flexible than it would first appear. Okay, so in your packs you will have, put that to one side, so you've got your silver and red card for your die cutting, and then we've got your red card. I've suddenly gone Poppy Parade for some reason. Works equally well. So this piece is 12.5 centimetres, and this piece is 11.5 centimetres square. We've got 13.5 centimetre blank in thick basic white, so that's your 27 by 13.5, scored at 13.5. Some white for your die cutting and your L plates, and then I've included in your kits. Now, actually, everyone who's, I think everybody that's doing this, who's bought the kit from me, does have this set. It's the Wanted to Say dies, but just in case, I have included the die cuts for you, and then your two L's for your L plates. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is make my L plate. So what you need to do is cut a square. Punch if you've got an inch square punch, but I cut it at 2.5 centimetres, so you need 2.5 centimetre squares. So just cut there, and then I'm using this side of the scale because there's more, it just sits better. So that's one, and that's two. So I'll leave you with the scrap and enough to do your car and your banner. Okay, so pop that out of the way, and I'm just going to make these so they can be drying. So I'm going to put these together as well, so getting out my silicone mat. Just so I don't get my paper messy. I've even got an area to stamp off on, aren't I good? Right, mini glue, mini glue, mini glue. Okay, so just going to glue these two onto the squares. So there's lots of pieces to put together on this card, but I think it's worth it. I think it's really effective. So all I need now is one of my younger children to start learning to drive, and then they can have one of these. Yeah, one day. They are 19 and 20, so you know, it's not like they're 8 and 9. Okay, just popping that in the middle-ish of the square. There we go, so that's one L plate. You could even do it as a hen night card. It's a bit tenuous. Right. So that's my 2 L plates made, and then I'm just going to glue these 2 together as well so they can be drying while I'm doing the rest of the card. So Stampin' Up! do a pin glue. It's really good. It's just I've had this one forever, and it was a present from a friend. So just making sure little dots of glue, particularly on like the corners and the ends, like on the end of the E. And the silicone mat's really good because if you do get any glue on that, it doesn't get stick everywhere, and then just every now and then I wash it in warm soapy water and all the glue comes off. It's great. Okay. So, and this lines up so well. So I sort of position it where I want it, and then because I'm using wet glue, you can have a little wiggle room. Stampin' Up! do really good double-sided adhesive sheets, which works really well for this, but you don't get the wriggle room. So if you prefer less mess, go for those. So, but I like having my wriggle room. Right, okay, so that's those 2 pieces done. So let's do our car. Now the car, either you need to use a stamping platform or one of our bigger blocks. So this one, it doesn't fit on a D, so it does fit on an E, but I find that quite hard. I've got starts of arthritis in my hand, so I'm actually going to use a stamping platform, and also helps with positioning. Right. So, and I tend to do the colour first and then the outline, because then the outline stands out better. Right, so let's get this piece. Pop that over there. And I'm going to pop this card in this way and stamp with the Shy Shamrock. Let's move it across. So I'm just gently stamping. With being one of the distinctive stamps, you don't want to over ink, because then you lose some of the detail. There's my Dubry. Okay. So you can see it's not just a flat stamp, there's lots of details, the edge of the boot there and the edge of the wing and stuff, so it's really a really nice stamp. And then my maths brain has just worked out this morning, in fact. It doesn't matter what size of card this is, as long as you put that back into a corner. So I've set it up so that that corner is there. So I've gone from this corner to that corner. Put it in straight. And that should line up with this one. So and then I'm coming in with the Memento Black to get the better detail. Another way you could do it, say if you did your car in Misty Moonlight and do the detail in Night of Navy, that would be amazing. I keep picking that up, and it's that I want. I'm leaving this open because I do need it again, but let's just not do that, because that's how you end up getting ink everywhere. There we go, see? Beautiful. Just really pleased. Yeah, I'll probably slightly misalign there, but I can cover that up with the bumpers. It's fine. Right, so finish with that now, so I'll pop it out of the way. And now I'm just going to do the wheels. And I like them coloured in, but this gives them so much more detail. So chuffed when I realised what this was. I kept trying to work out how people had managed to colour them in so well. And that's because they weren't colouring them in, they were stamping them. See, how cool is that? So you've got like some grey space, so it gives it dimension. How cool is that? And you could just leave it like that. You don't need to decorate it. So, right, now to save time, I've actually done my die cutting. So let's put this to one side. Okay. And here I have cut everything out. So we have our car and our bumper. And that's just an extra bit. So you can, if you want, actually cut out the windows out of something as well. We'll be doing that later in the month. So they are really flexible. Amazing, just amazing. Lots of little stuff. Right, so we'll get the silicone mat out again and do some gluing. And there we go. So I'm going to start with the bumper. Just glue that in place. I'll leave that off for a second because I'm doing lots of gluing in quick succession. So I'm just positioning that over the bumper. It's slightly bigger than the stamped image, which also gives you a bit of leeway when you've not quite lined the stamps up. There we go. Okay, and then looking online, I found the bumpers. Where's my original card gone? Here it is. Was sort of either side of the boot. Gosh, what do they... Can't remember what Americans call a boot. I know it's not a boot. It's gone. Gone. Right, so then I'm getting these little bits. There's the bumper bars. Trunk! There we go. Knew I'd find it. Okay, it's quite a lot. You do need to be sparing when you're using foiled card because you don't want to get glue on the front. So I'm just going to get the other one and dab them together to transfer some glue from one to the other. There we go. Except they don't want to come apart now. You can stay there. So they're just going to go just where the boot is. So one there, just inside the wheels. And then the other one is on the other side. Again, similar place. There we go. Now, a few dots here for the indicators. Again, too much glue, Linda. Just going to dab some of that off. I mean, I always say this about Stampin' Up, but somebody's really thought about this with all these details. And my husband used to own a VW Beetle, and he loves this. I mean, it's not exactly a VW Beetle, it's probably some American car, but it just really reminds me of the VW. There we go. And then there it is, my handle for the trunk. Again, just a few little dots where it's going to go. Pop that in place. There we go. And then we've got the window frame. Excuse me. Let's pop that in place. So that just goes, and it fits beautifully. And how gorgeous does that look? Excuse me, I am going to have to slurp. It's supposed to be coffee and card, so I have my coffee. So then we just need to make our bunting, and then we're ready to put the card together. So just going to put some little blobs of glue on alternate triangles. Excuse me, this tickle ain't going anywhere today. That's one. There is a little bit of a way of these triangles. They are slightly taller than they are wide. You will get the hang of it. Trying not to cough, which is a bad idea. Do apologise. And then now I'm just going to add that to the card. So obviously I've done red so it matches the L plates. If you want to grab some card out of your scraps so it matches the card, feel free. And then this goes sort of at the top of the boot, trunk, whatever you call it, in the middle. So about there. That's our car finished. I think that looks brilliant on its own, to be honest. Right, so let's just put the rest of the card together. So, glue, glue, glue. Go. And then we need our card base, glue that in place. Pop some dimensionals on the car. So I'm going to put the car and the Celebrate on first and then position my L plates. There we go. Oh, got that one already. I'm going to put it in the bottom right hand corner, sort of equidistance from the side and the bottom, and fairly straight. There we go. And then Celebrate. Oh, there. Can't find my scissors. So I find these little bits between these big bits really good for the fine letters. So put one there and go in again. There. You could do the double-sided foam sheets that Stampin' Up have as well. So where's that going to? About there. I'm just going to use this all the way across. There we are, nice and simple. Stuck into it. It's the problem with having these nails is because they're super smooth. These stick to them. Just realised that doesn't really make sense. You sort of roughen up a surface, don't you, to glue things to? I don't know. Anyway, I digress again. I'm just going to pop the Celebrate in this corner. There we go. And then this one is glued down at the bottom, because I wanted it to be just behind the card, because we are discarding these. These are gone. We don't need them anymore. They are flying off into the distance. And then this one needs a dimensional, sort of near the top in the middle, which is there. And then I've got that over the card, and that's our card for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed it. There we go, off into the distance. Okay, so there we go. That's 2 congratulations on passing your driving test cards. I hope you've enjoyed those, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.